Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Morning, Andy.
All right, do we want to get started?
I'm good.
All right. Has everybody had a chance to review the minutes? Yep.
Yep.
Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll move.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. Have we had any public comment, Aaron? I can barely hear you, Aaron.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right. Yeah, no public comment today.
Okay. Secretary's report?
All right. So as the Blighted property list, we currently have 152 properties on the list. 28 of those are under intervention by the Erie Land Bank. 12 are under intervention by private individuals. 9 of the properties on the Blighted list are listed on the 2021 judicial tax sale list. 4 of those properties are on the Land Bank's 2021 work plan. So those will be mitigated here shortly. And then the other thing I wanted to do today is I got a flow chart that was created by Aaron Carey a few years ago. And after the last few meetings, there's been some confusion from some people watching online about what it means as we, do declarations of blight. So just want to share my screen and kind of just go through that. So, and this is something I shared with David and Liz and that, and I'll send it out to y'all. I meant to send it out yesterday, but, as the properties, of course, they go through the code enforcement process in order to be declared blighted. So they only come to the Blighted Property Review Committee after code enforcement has exhausted all of their efforts to take care of the property maintenance violations on the property. So, we start with the blighted review process starts with, has code enforcement exhausted all of its efforts? Yes or no? So that is basically where the second box is where we come into the property is referred to the Blighted Property Review Committee. So under the state law, it has to meet one of 9 criteria in order to be declared blighted. And so when Mike presents the properties, he's presenting it that it meets one of the 9 criteria as identified on the list. Let me see if I thought I had it up, but I guess not. Hold on 1 second. All right, so this is the blighted property shall include, and it has to meet these one or more of these 9 criteria in order to be declared blighted. So, as we review these properties and we go through it, this is what we are voting on as the Blighted Property Review Committee, that it meets these standards or one or more of these standards. So just a quick overview. And of course, then once the property is declared blighted, it can go through the process, and the property owner receives a notice. They have the right to appeal. They have the right to, make repairs. We don't take ownership of the property. The redevelopment authority only acts on it if done so through the City of Erie Planning Commission gives approval on that. And then at that point, the redevelopment authority would follow through with condemnation action against those properties. But I just wanted to do a brief overview of that for anyone watching to clarify any questions from anybody in the public. So, thank you.
Aaron,
Yes.
are these available on the city's website or the ERA's website?
That flow chart,
Yeah,
I don't believe it is, but it's certainly something I can talk to Frank and see if he can get it up there.
I mean, I
somewhere.
think after last month's action on the house at 6th and Vermont, I was inundated with friends in the neighborhood who knew I was on the committee. Well, what happens next? What can we do to, that kind of thing? And I think being able to refer them to something like that would answer a lot of questions for the general public.
No, absolutely. I agree. I'll reach out to, Frank and them and see if we can get it up on the website somewhere.
Okay, good. Thank you.
I would just like to add one thing to what Aaron said. Just for people in general, just because a property is declared blighted does not necessarily mean it's going to be demolished. Most of the time it is, but there are some that we do save and rehab. I think that's a misunderstanding as well.
Yes, very good point, Mike. Now that's the goal. We don't want a bunch of vacant lots. We want sustainable housing. So, all right, that's my report for today. Thanks.
Okay. Have we received any correspondence?
We did. I received some correspondence from the attorney of the owner at 601, 603 East 10th Street. We blighted the property, I believe, back in May. They attempted to sell the property in early June. And by late June, I received some emails from the attorney asking what the blight designation meant, what they would have to do to get the blight designation removed. So I sent them the information we had, gave them Mike's information to reach out to him as well. They ended up canceling the sale on the property pending the owner making the proper repairs to the property and getting the blight designation removed, as the city ordinance states that they can't sell it until that is removed. So they're going to work through that and hopefully, convey it once they can get those issues removed and satisfy the committee. That's the only correspondence I have.
And they did reach out to me, and quite a few things on the Exhibit A list have already been corrected, so they are moving forward with it.
Mike, do they have permits?
I'd have to check on that, but most of the things they had on there were exterior cleanup and replacing windows and things that didn't require permits. But I will definitely make sure that things that do our permits are obtained.
Okay, thank you. Okay, old business.
All right, we have two properties up for blight rescission this month, 1018 Plum, which is a private rehab, and then 1118 Parade, which is another private rehab. 1118 Parade is part of the new development over on Parade Street by Hands. So both of those have been rehabilitated and are ready for blight rescission.
Okay, do I have a motion to remove the blight designation?
So moved.
Second.
From Liz.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. New business. Mike?
Okay, first up, we have, this one's a little unique as it's not a structure. It's a nuisance property. 26 East 26th Street. It is one that zoning has had issues with for quite a few years now. Our first case was opened in 2016. Let's see. They do owe back taxes to 2019 over $5,000. There is no utility information because there's not really a structure on the property. There's notices sent from us for junk and debris in 2019. And then there's been several zoning violation notices sent, one in September of 19, one in December of 19, one in March of 11, and several civil complaints filed this year. He was cited by property maintenance in September of 2019, no-show fine $300 plus court cost. And then there was also civil complaint filed against him, which is kind of like a citation through zoning for zoning violations. And he had a hearing in January of 2020, found guilty for $1,000. And then he didn't clean anything up. So then another one in July of 2020, and he was found guilty and fined $5,000. And then recently we filed another civil complaint and in June of 21 and had a hearing, and he was fined $12,000 for each property. There's 2 properties there. It's just he's using it basically as a junkyard and salvage yard. And if you go to, so the state blighted standards list, there's a section 4 there. It says any structure which is a fire hazard or is otherwise dangerous to the safety of persons or property. The pile of tires is what I'm referring to as a dangerous structure if that were to catch on fire. There's a huge pile of tires back there.
Mike, I had a question. Can the county health department get involved in this too because of those tires? I mean, they're a breeding ground for whatever those diseases are out there. The ones that are spread by mosquitoes and everything.
I'm not
Does
sure.
the health department have? Yeah, I would find
I can
out.
look into it. Yeah, I don't know.
Especially, my God, with all the rain we've had, can you imagine all the water that's, I mean, on the one hand, you might have the worry about a fire. On the other hand, you have
Sure.
this water in there. And I just think could be a county health hazard. So I don't know if that might be one more tool in your toolbox.
I will definitely look into that. I will call them. I'm not sure what their jurisdiction would be there, but I'll inquire about it.
Thank you.
The health department will refer it to our office if they get the complaint, as well with the DEP. On larger piles, the DEP will assist us because tires are technically a federal hazard.
Yeah, I still think it would be good to document that it's gone to the health department, because certainly.
They'll refer it back to us. They won't take it.
Right.
They send it to us.
But then that becomes a story then that you've had tires in a city property for all these years in a central city property where, human health is at risk. So
I think just to build our case and along the lines of documentation, it couldn't hurt. I'll definitely make that inquiry. I'll make that call.
Mike, do you know what was on this property?
Yes, there was a bar / tavern years ago that I think burnt down or was demolished. And if you look at, there's a tiny piece of a remaining structure on there. Initially, I thought it was a shed or a storage facility. It's not. It's what's remains of that bar that burnt down or was demolished. I'm not sure why it was demolished, but it was removed.
No.
And since then, it's been used basically as a storage / junkyard. There's construction equipment there, and we can't seem to get him to remove any of it, no matter how hard he's fined.
Thanks, Mike.
Any further questions? Do I have a motion to blight?
So moved. I'll second.
Who was that?
Rich,
Rich, okay.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Next up, we have 2656 Cochrane Street. This one, original case was opened on this in May of 2016 under the previous owner. It's changed hands with little to no work being done on it. The water's been off since September 7th of 2011. It's very overgrown. It's hard. It was really kind of hard to get pictures of the front of it because of how overgrown it was. The electric is also turned off. It's vacant and it's a 2-family dwelling. We sent notices in June of 18, September of 18, April of this year, and June of this year. They were cited August 1st, 2018, issued a continuance at the hearing, and another hearing took place December 18th of 2018, and they were found not guilty and the charges dismissed. I do not know why. I tried to call the district justice office and the docket record was non-existing. There's a part of the roof on the sides just above the soffit and fascia where the gutters were, there's holes in it. So I'm assuming there's water damage in the second story. This is a somewhat local owner. She lives in Wattsburg, PA. And she's had it since February of 2017 with little to nothing been done to it.
Yeah. Mike, if I can share some information. She reached out to the Redevelopment Authority, the land bank, in hopes that she could get it donated to either one. Since she's going through some personal issues, she ended up with the property. She doesn't want it anymore. You're right. There is a hole on the roof in the second floor. I mean, it's a definite demolition. There's no saving it. The second floor is coming down into the first floor. So it's a matter. I put it in front of the land bank board last month. We're going to discuss it again next Monday about property donation, policy, and see where it goes. But it's definitely in very poor condition.
I think there are some back taxes owed on it though from 2019.
Yeah, that's the other sticking point with her.
Okay, do I have a motion to blight?
This is Kathy. I'll move to blight.
Second,
Second,
Angela.
Angela. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, next up we have 441, 443 West 9th Street. This one gets brought to our attention by our West Bayfront. It's been sitting like this for quite a while. Current owners had it since July of 2018. Our original case dates back to September of 2015 with the previous owner, and nothing's been done since then. There are no back taxes owed on it, but the water has been off since July 27th of 2018. There were notices sent in May of 20, February of 21, and May of this year. There was previous notices sent to the previous owner in September of 15 and April of 18. This one, I think, may have some roof issues as well. As you can see, the soffit there's collapsed, and I think the ridge board and the fascia boards all rotted out, and there might be some moisture damage in the second story on this one as well. There's some brick repointing issues there. Oddly enough, it looks like the garage was repaired. It's new windows and new siding, and then nothing's been done to the house. So I don't know if they worked on the garage and then just let the house sit, but it's been sitting like this for quite a while. I'm assuming the new owner took possession and never had the utilities turned on because they haven't been on before him.
Michael, you've had no conversations with the new owner of this property?
I have not, and I issued a 30-day repair demo order in May, and usually that prompts a response. It has my number and contact information on it, and I didn't receive anything.
I believe that the owner is a member of the Erie School Board,
Yes.
and I would think that this is something you wouldn't want publicity about. That, I have heard that he's gone into the, property management business, but I don't know. You would think that there would be a certain obligation on the part of somebody who's in, serving the public to not let this happen. But
my repair demo order was sent to his office and posted to the front door. So I feel like I definitely tried to notify him.
I'm happy to give you his home address.
Yeah. Me too, Councilwoman. I know where he's at, so.
Any contact information, I'll take it, sure.
Okay.
I move to blight.
I'll second.
Got to unmute. Okay, second by Rich. All in favor? Aye.
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 Okay, next up, I have 341 West 29th Street. This owner is deceased, and let's see, she died January 4th of 2020, and the house has been abandoned and vacant since. The water's been off since March of 2020. There was a notice sent September of 20, June of this year, and a repair demo order sent June of this year. The repair demo order was returned, server address undeliverable, no forwarding address. This has some roof issues as well. Soffit fascia gutters are all rotted out. The roof is in dire need of replacing. I'm guessing there's leaks further up along the ridge of the roof, just based on the condition of the shingles. This is in a neighborhood where the surrounding houses are kept up very well, so we get quite a few complaints about this one. The taxes on this one are current, but I'm wondering if this might be a situation where the bank is paying the taxes and waiting to foreclose until the moratorium is lifted. And I think the front yard is mowed, because I spoke to one of the neighbors. I believe one of the neighbors is mowing it, but we have filed liens on this property before for the grass cutting.
Okay, do I have a motion to blight?
This is Kathy. I'll move to blight.
I'll second.
Second? Rich,
I'll second. Yep.
all in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, next we have 440 East 9th Street. This one we did have some communication with. This was brought to our attention by the Erie Police Department, as it's come up kind of a nuisance property for them. They are constantly removing people from this property, squatters, and we are having to board it up. The original file came to us that was in our system in 2016. I posted a keep out notice on it in June of this year, and we filed a board and seal lien of June of this year. And another notice was sent out the 17th of this year, as well as a repair demo order last week. The family did reach out to me. It's the husband of the owner of the house died, and then the wife is in a nursing home, and she's an elderly woman. They had one child who also is deceased, so they have a nephew that is the power of attorney. The nephew reached out to us and basically said that he kind of had this property dropped in his lap. His wife has some health issues. He can't deal with it. He doesn't want to deal with it, and he would be willing to just sign off on it and donate it, as he doesn't have the resources to fix it up or the desire. This might be one he would sign off on the land bank if I figured a blight designation might help that process a little further.
Do I have a motion to blight?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
I'll second. Oh, Aaron got me.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
And that's all I have this month. Thank you.
Okay. Any other comments? None heard. Thank you, everybody. And do I have a motion to adjourn?
So
So
moved.
moved.
Second.
Everybody. Kathy and Aaron. All right, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.